Something unexpected just came out of the Vatican, and prophecy students around the world are paying attention. A new decree has been released, subtle on the surface but deeply significant, and some are already calling it one of the most prophetically charged decisions Rome has made in recent years. But here is the part that has shocked so many. More than a century ago, Ellen White described a moment just like this. A moment when spiritual influence, political authority, and global agendas would begin to merge in a way the world is not prepared for. And today, many believe that this moment has just begun. Before we dive deeper into this unfolding situation, take one quick second to like this video. It helps this message reach so many more people who need to hear it. Now, let's go right into what is happening. Recently, the Vatican released an official decree that has caught global attention. To most people, it appears harmless, maybe even encouraging. To some, it looks like a step toward moral order in a very chaotic world. But for those who have studied prophecy, this decree is not just interesting, it is significant. The decree focuses on three key themes. First, a call for global unity around shared moral values, something the Vatican has been promoting more openly in recent years. Second, a stronger alignment between religious principles and governmental decisions, a soft but noticeable encouragement for nations to adopt moral frameworks influenced by religious institutions. And third, a worldwide invitation to restore spiritual practices, including collective rest, reflection, and unified worship experiences. Individually, none of these ideas sound alarming, they actually sound positive, but when you put them together, you begin to see a pattern, one that echoes exactly what Ellen White warned about more than 100 years ago. She wrote repeatedly that near the end of time, there would be a worldwide push toward enforced morality, a rebuilding of church influence over the civil powers of the world, and a uniting of religious and political forces under the banner of peace, unity, and moral restoration. She warned that religious leaders would reach across the gulf, seeking the support and cooperation of civil authorities. And she said that the final crisis would not begin with violence or chaos, but with laws, decrees, policies, and calls for unity that seem beneficial on the surface. That is why this new Vatican decree is raising concern for prophecy students. It is not the decree alone. It is the direction, the trajectory, the momentum behind it. So why is this particular decree different? Why is this moment standing out? First, the timing. The world is unstable, politically, economically, socially, and spiritually. People are confused, people are exhausted, people are longing for order. And history shows that when society becomes desperate for stability, religious influence rises rapidly. That's exactly the window in which this decree has landed. Second, the language. The wording used in the decree strongly mirrors themes seen in end-time prophecy. Universal morality, shared rest, collective worship, global unity. These are not exaggerations. They are the exact ingredients that prophecy describes leading into the final conflict over worship and religious authority. Third, the speed of influence. We live in a digital era where religious statements no longer remain inside church walls. They instantly become international discussions. They influence governments. They shape public opinion. They spark movements. And because the Vatican holds both religious and political authority, its words carry tremendous weight around the world. Fourth, ecumenical alignment. Within days of the decree's release, other religious leaders began expressing support. This is exactly what Ellen White said would happen, that Protestant, Catholic, and even secular powers would unite around moral and social agendas, creating a global religious political alliance that seems good, but leads towards spiritual danger. Now, I want to be clear, This decree is not the final fulfillment of prophecy, but it is definitely a step in that direction. It matches the tone, the themes, and the prophetic outline that Scripture and the spirit of prophecy describe. So how should Christians respond? Not with fear, not with anger, not with panic, but with spiritual clarity. This is a moment to deepen your devotional life. Now is the time to strengthen your prayer life, study the Word, and draw closer to God. As the noise of the world grows louder, we must learn to be still before God and rooted in His truth. This is also a time to guard your freedom of conscience. True worship can never be legislated or forced. God does not coerce, He invites. Any system, religious or political, that seeks to control conscience is stepping into prophetic territory. This is a time to stay awake, not alarmed, but awake. Prophecy is not given to scare us, it is given to prepare us. When we see these things unfolding, it should remind us that God is still on the throne, and nothing catches Him by surprise. Ellen White wrote that, in the last days, the movements of nations would become rapid ones. And today we are witnessing rapid movement. When global leaders begin speaking the same language, when religious decrees begin influencing political systems, when the world begins calling for moral unity and shared rest, we know we are getting closer to the prophetic climax. But here's the good news. God is not shaken. God is not worried. And God is not confused. He already revealed these signs so that His people would be prepared and not deceived. This decree may not be the final step, but it is clearly one of the steps. A piece of the prophetic puzzle. A signal that the world is entering a new season. A season of spiritual awakening, spiritual conflict, and spiritual decision. So today, stay prayerful, stay watchful, stay grounded in the Word, and most importantly, stay close to Jesus. Because the world may be shifting, but God's kingdom remains unshaken. If this message helped you see the times more clearly, take one moment to like this video and share it with someone who studies prophecy. And if you want more videos like this, deep, clear, and spiritually grounded, make sure to subscribe. God bless you, and stay faithful.